Hi, my amazing artists. In this video, you're going to learn how to color your Kandisky inspired dot. So you're going to be using either crayons or colored pencils today to color that, and we're going to learn a few things, helpful tips before you get coloring. First, you're going to want to erase any pencil lines you still see before coloring into your dot. Also, make sure all your pencil lines are traced with black marker. Now, when we color, we want to balance, just like we balanced out our shapes around the dot, we want to take our colors and we want to balance them out around the dot as well. So that means spreading them around, using them more than once. So if you use them on the left side of your dot, you probably should use them on at least on the right side, or if you use it at the top, then use it at the bottom. Spread them around to evenly balance out that color. Also, we want to create good contrast. So that means showing the differences between two different things. So a red next to a red violet is not going to have as much contrast because they are close to each other on the color wheel. Where a warm color, which are reds, our orange, and our yellows, next to a cool color, which is yellow, greens, or blues, or violets, which are opposite, they're going to have a bigger contrast. Putting like a warm next to a cool. So example, my red next to my greens, those are showing more contrast. My purples and blues against my orange, and along with my greens against my orange, they make those shapes stand out. We want our things that we drew to still stand out and be able to be seen. We don't want them to be camouflaged in. I'm also going to talk about how to get this shading in your picture, and that's called analogous colors. So when coloring in your project, you want to have good craftsmanship. Good craftsmanship, boys and girls, means the level of skill you're using is going to be like the number 3. We want to have you filling in your space nice and solid with a dark color so that they're nice and bright and vibrant, and we want you staying inside of the shape and filling it into where there's little to no white. So for example, if I was to color my first shape right here, my red-orange, I wouldn't want to color it like this. That is not good craftsmanship completely. It's staying inside my lines, but I still have lots of white spaces. So I would want to make sure I go back in, fill that in again, get it to be really filled in so it's nice and solid. Little to no white showing. All right. So now I'm going to talk about how to get that blending, and I'm going to do that here kind of in my background area here, or you could do it in a shape. Either space is fine. You can do it in both. But analogous colors are 3 or 4 colors next to each other on the color wheel. So I wouldn't want to do an analogous color scheme in orange because that would blend in with this shape that I just did here. But what I could do is I could do like a yellow-green, green, and a blue-violet. These 3 analogous colors would be contrast well against this area. So I'm going to kind of color this shape here that's in my background with that analogous color scheme. And when you color with analogous color schemes, they have to be colored in that order. If they are not, then you will not have that blending happen. So I'm just going to kind of color right here. I'm just going to end it right there for right now. So I'm going to color my first upper half, and if you were doing a shape, like it would just be this top part of the shape. With my yellow-green, then my next color is green. So remember, I have to go in that order. I'm going to overlap it, so it means I'm going to put a little bit of green on top of that yellow-green. So that they blend and they look like they're fading one into the next. Alright, then I'm going to take my blue-green, which is my last color, overlap it a lot on that top of the regular green. That blend, so as you can see, that's how the background can be colored in. So you don't have to always do this fading for the background. You could pick just one color to color your background. If you're going to do that, I would maybe color the background first, pick that one color that you want, and then don't use it a whole lot in your picture so that way your shapes don't camouflage into that background color. Now if you want to do an analogous color scheme on a shape, I'll show you quickly how to do that. I'm going to obviously not do these three colors because it would blend right in, but I will do my red violet, my red, and red orange. So I'm going to take this upper half here and I'm going to color that with my red orange. Again, staying inside my shape, coloring it nice and solid. So just coloring that upper half. And then my next color is red. So then I'm going to put my red to overlap that red orange a little bit and color the middle of the shape. Again, by choosing a warm colored scheme for this, it's going to contrast nicely against those cool colors there. I'm going to stop here as I get towards the bottom half. Take my red violet and have it overlap some of my red. So it blends. Now again, remember I said you want to balance out colors, so spreading it around and using it multiple times will help. I like to think sometimes moving it directly across or diagonal from each other helps. So for example, if I wanted to use this skinny rectangle, I could color this my red violet. It's kind of right diagonal from it. Also, if you have like a light pink or a dark pink or a light green and a dark green, you can color half of a shape. And do that blending instead of using the analogous color. So I could color half with my like red violet and then color this other half here with the pink. And those are just some helpful tips on what you can do to color your dot to make it look really amazing. I hope you guys have fun and enjoy.